What's up, my pretties? It's Lion Queen here. So, welcome to episode 293 of Shadows and Pretties. And as you can see here, we're about a couple episodes away from 300. So, today we're going to be reviewing this 1988 animated, comedy film called Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. This honestly is a really interesting one because the theme of it is kind of like Hotel Transylvania, and also it somewhat takes place after Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School, which took place after Scooby Doo meets the Boo Brothers, which I did review those on Shadows and Pretties earlier, so there's that. Well, of course, we do have a couple well, actors that did come back to reprise the role, like Casey Kasem, who voiced Shaggy in this one. So I'm surprised I have not reviewed this Scooby Doo movie. And since it's Halloween, well, since it's like October, I've watched a couple Scooby Doo films. Well, like rewatched most of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch this movie. And honestly, this was a pretty good film. I personally thought it was enjoyable. It's a really funny movie, especially, when I was a kid, I personally really liked this movie, even though this movie came out in the 80s. I do like the characters. I like the fact that Shaggy, got turned into a werewolf because, you know, Shaggy's kind of like an anthropomorphic werewolf in the movie. He becomes like an anthropomorphic werewolf, which is honestly kind of reminds me of Shaggy becoming a furry. Honestly, that's honestly what the film is. So, I'm going to go ahead and explain what the plot of this movie is about. I cannot believe I have not done a Shadows and Praise episode on this. I thought I did until I looked and I'm like, oh, wait, I did not review this one. So, yeah. So basically, the plot is about all the classics of Hollywood monsters such as Frankenstein, and his wife Rapusa, the Mummy, the Witch Sisters, the Bone Jangles, the Skeleton, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Snide, Swamp Thing, and Dragonfly gather at Count Dracula's castle in Transylvania for a monster road rally. The road race is similar to Wacky Races, which is kind of like a little television series, but I've not heard of that. The awarded with the Monster of the Year, as well as many macabre prizes, such as announced by Drax's wife and co-host Priya. However, this year Dracula receives a postcard from Wolfman saying that he has retired to Florida, and thus will not be participating in any further races. So Dracula fears that he would have to cancel the race due to his sudden absence, but his lion-like Master Van Wolfgang notifies him of a way to create a new werewolf by, according to the spell book, on the full moon came to a perfect position to transform a human into a werewolf every 5 centuries. On the 3 nights in a row that begin the following night, the one next in line to become the next werewolf appeared to be none other than Shaggy Rogers, who coincidentally has won a recent car race with the help of his pit crew, Scooby Doo, and his younger nephew, Scrappy Doo. Now, I know that Scrappy Doo was in Boo Brothers and the Ghoul School, so honestly, he came back to do this one. So, basically, Dracula ends up sending his hunchback henchmen, the Hunch Bunch, consisting of well-civilized Brunch and gibberish-speaking Crunch, on a mission to America to try and turn Shaggy into a werewolf to bring him back to his castle for the race. The first 2 nights, the duo is unsuccessful. But on the final night, while Shaggy is in a drive-in movie, along with his girlfriend Googie, the Hunch Bunch manages to expose Shaggy to moonlight by dropping the sunroof of his customized race car, causing Shaggy to be transformed into a werewolf. Shaggy's hiccups surprisingly force him to alternate between a human and a werewolf, hearing the other movie watchers speaking werewolf on the loose in the theater. Scooby hides from a nearby car upon seeing and meeting Scooby and seeing his reflection. Shaggy flees with the car with Scooby, Scrappy and Googie now in tow, pursued by the Hunch Bunch, but loses the hiccups in pursuit, and this thus remains trapped in his werewolf form. When the Hunch Bunch knocks out the group of moon dust and from their vehicle, the Batcopter, They fly back to Transylvania towing the car. Revealing himself, Dracula explains to Shaggy why he transformed, but Shaggy is having no desire to be a werewolf, refusing to participate in Dracula's plans. After several failed attempts to escort Shaggy, Dracula offers himself a bargain. If Shaggy, however, wins the race and drives, Dracula will change him back into human and allow him and his friends to leave. The deal is made, but Dracula has no intent of allowing Shaggy to succeed. So the gang is given their good lodgings, treated as guests in the castle, and is allowed the food as they wish for breakfast. Dracula then shows them the trail Shaggy will have to follow for the race, consensus to let them navigate through the track in the race car with the wolf wagon. Currently undergoing maintenance for Shaggy, Dracula attempts to rig the track by sending the bunch to implement traps. But despite their efforts, Shaggy completes the course expectantly, making Count worry that he may lose his new werewolf. Subsequently, he alters the race course, sabotages the werewolf wagon as the Hunch Bunch, which of course are the birth of Shaggy asleep. However, the next morning, Googie energizes Shaggy with a kiss as he prepares the werewolf wagon shortly after the race begins. Everyone conspires against Shaggy and Scooby throughout the race, but thanks to Googie and Scrappy, who followed on their own car as their pit crew, Dracula and the Hunch Bunch and the others for racing monsters end up trying to cause more harm to themselves than him. So after Dracula, the Hunch Bunch, and other racing monsters end up doing some more harm to themselves after failed more attempts, Dracula loses his patience and unleashes his secret weapon, the Guinness Con, allowing an ape-like beast to stop Shaggy as the others racers near the finish line. Googie and Scrappy return to rescue Shaggy and Scooby, and then the pairs work together to make the monster fall into the other cars, leaving an easy path to victory for Shaggy. So furious if all of his schemes had failed, Dracula ends up goes back on his deal, stating that there is no way to turn Shaggy back. However, after Vampira reveals that the solution in Dracula's spellbook, the gang steals the book and make an escape. Dracula chases after them in his weaponized car and later on his own plane. However, four barely manage to dodge Dracula's powerful gadgets, and in seconds before Dracula gets the best of them, a thunderstorm ensues and Dracula's plane gets struck by lightning, sending them plummeting to the ocean below, where a shark chases him off. So upon returning home, Googie makes the book change Shaggy back into human. And that night, that's when all the gang sat down to watch another horror movie and eat pizza. In the final scene, Dracula and the Hunch Bunch sneak up to their window, swearing revenge, ending the film on the cliffhanger. So that's basically a cliffhanger. We don't really know if the whole thing happened again or did something happen later on. We don't know because the movie just ended on the cliffhanger. So it gives us, some, clues as to, what could have possibly happened. Well, I wish there was a sequel to this because honestly, that would have honestly helped out. Or maybe people can just come up with their own theories, which is probably going to be the best thing we can do is, just come up with theories as to what happened in that. But I can definitely say right here and right now is that I personally really thought that this was honestly a really good movie. I mean, I haven't watched this film in like years, but this was honestly a pretty good film. I mean, the animation's drawn really good, especially for Scooby Doo. I mean, I really like these Scooby Doo films because, especially when Shaggy was wearing his red shirt, we seen him wearing a red shirt in, Meet the Boo Brothers, and as well as, what was it? Oh yeah, in the Ghoul School. And we don't really see Shaggy with his red shirt anymore, but honestly, he did pretty good with his red shirt and that. But honestly, Shaggy wearing his green shirt is just as good too. I personally really like this. I really thought it was a good movie. I mean, the characters are drawn great. The character development of everybody was fantastic. I personally liked it. I like the idea of having Shaggy becoming a werewolf. I was expecting maybe Scooby to become a werewolf or something, but when I first watched the movie, I never expected Shaggy to become a werewolf. honestly, it's still a pretty good film. And this kind of reminds me that, Shaggy becoming a furry almost in this, which honestly I can definitely say, maybe people in the furry community would definitely really enjoy this film. I mean, if you're a part of the furry community, like furry fandom, or you're a furry yourself, you will definitely enjoy this movie. I really like the idea how they made Shaggy into a werewolf. It looks pretty cool. And if like this is a perfect film especially for Halloween and in October month, but it's also a pretty good movie especially if you happen to be a part of the furry community or furry fandom and you really enjoy furries, you definitely would enjoy this movie because it involves, well, a furry character, which involves Shaggy being a werewolf and he becomes a furry, which honestly, it's a pretty good film. Now, do I recommend this? Yes, I really recommend this Scooby Doo movie. I mean, kids would enjoy this movie, especially if you were born in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, or so later on, maybe sometime in the 90s, you definitely would enjoy this movie. You definitely would really enjoy it. And I guess with that being said, I personally really have to say you really got to watch this movie if you've not seen it because it's just a really good film. It's a really amazing movie. You definitely will not be disappointed when I tell you this. Once you see it, you will not be disappointed. I personally thought it was a really nice movie. It's really good, well made. It's definitely got a great concept. I mean, I like the plot of it. It's pretty well done and stuff. I really thought it was nice. So, do I recommend this for kids? Well, kids and adults, especially for fans of Scooby Doo. I mean, kids and adults would definitely like this, especially for Scooby Doo fans. I mean, I know there's a few adult jokes in, Scooby Doo. I mean, on almost every Scooby Doo movie, there's always adult jokes that are hidden in this. Obviously, adults will get it, but kids won't get it, but adults will. So I gotta say, I definitely have to say, be sure you watch this movie. It's a really good feel-good movie, and it's perfect for Halloween. So that's pretty much what I have to say about Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Really great film, just like with Ghoul School and Meet the Boo Brothers. I thought this one was honestly a really good film, and it still is. So, I guess that's pretty much all I have to really say. I can't say anything else that I did not like about this movie or what I like about it because I explained it all in this video. But if for some reason, if I am missing something, please let me know what it is in the comments below because I might be missing something. I don't know, but you guys can let me know what it is in the comments below if there's something I'm missing. I don't think I am missing anything, but if I am, you can let me know what it is in the comments below. Now, anyways, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this movie a lot better. Feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you want to go follow me on Twitter, link to my Twitter account will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there. If you guys want to go follow me on DeviantArt, link to my DeviantArt will also be in the About page section, so you guys will not miss an upload. But also, if you want to go subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, link to that will also be in the About page section. So you guys can go check out my backup channel if you haven't. And I know we recently, got around like 700 subs, so I want to thank you guys for that. So that's pretty much all I have to say, but if I'm missing something, let me know what it is in the comments below. So as always, I guess with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, everyone, and like always, I'll see you all next time.